what the left is doing? They're justifying pedophilia.
The sexual perversion that goes on in Washington, I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, but the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're gonna have kind of a sexual get together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to?
I knew it.
I don't really know how much you know about me, but I'm probably the most vocal anti-children transitioning person on the internet. It's what I'm. Right. I let you speak.
The best thing you can do for us is grow out your mustache and tell people not to live like you. That is the best thing that you can do to help us.
Have you been in a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them?
Well, I'm having an experience with a woman right now. And I've had lots of experiences with women in my life, not romantically per se.
So so if you wouldn't bake me a cake, that's okay. And now, because it's 50-50, I can't bake you a cake, which David's an incredible chef, and he would have done it kosher, the whole thing, man.
Well, now I feel bad.
He would have done it for you.
You got me this close.
Putting that aside, you can't have David's kosher cake now. If we were having an anniversary party, would you come? If I was inviting all the crew that we all know, and we were just an anniversary party, we're just having a party, and I'll even throw in some kosher food for you to make sure you don't have to bring your own.
Honestly, I'd have to think about it. In the same way.
So that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Blair, let me hear what you're going to say.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that there's a little bit of a tit for tat here, but I will say, Lauren, you said that Carlin was celebrating you being deplatformed. I did see that, and I personally disagree with Carlin for doing that. I don't like people being banned off Twitter, deplatformed. But I will say you opened this up with saying that I shouldn't be given a platform and that I shouldn't have a say in the party so I think there's a little bit of it to go around. I think everyone should probably just respect each other a little more.
No, I didn't say you should be deplatformed from your voice. I was saying that you should not have a platform within a party who stands for traditional marriage.
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? Fuck you for bringing this up right here and right now. Why are you doing this to me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Well, just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Elizabeth,
heartfelt.
Elizabeth,
Dave, I disagree, or I don't know what the answer is.
I get why the right has these, what I would argue are often legitimate fears, because the left does not stop eating civilization.
Correct.
Cannot deny that your people are the ones that are reading dressed in drag to kids at our taxpayers' expense. And I'm just curious, to what extent am I going to be forced to participate in your fetish or delusion?
Little tricks, little things you could say or whatever to kind of hack them and whatever. And I think that kind of says it all about their nature. So
what does it say about our nature, Nick?
Well, it says that, they're not fully rational. I don't believe that, like men, they possess a sort of full rationality. I think that
rationality towards what specifically?
Well, rationality
just
entirely,
generally?
Sort of objective. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
30 years from now, we're going to be sitting here doing this, hopefully in a bigger garage, maybe.
In Texas, probably.
And you may well have moved me on the abortion issue, and I think I may have moved you on coming to an anniversary party. What do you think?
I think it's possible. I mean, I'd have to think about that. Again, the issue, as you know, not to get back into well-trod territory. I think it would be unlikely that you'd move me, but I can never rule out the possibility of being moved on anything.
So I do a little digging, and I find out that Kimberly Klasick was a stripper named September, and that her husband was the manager of the strip club. I thought, wow, this is really interesting, because this person attacked me and said that I am a bad look for the Black community. I'm not good for the Black communities. I don't want to celebrate Juneteenth.
She said in this video that she could not verify any of this information. She said that we were partying in a club during the campaign with campaign funds. Armstrong, if she was the detective that she pretends to be, she would know that all of the clubs in Baltimore City were shut down due to the pandemic.
I am now thrilled that I don't have to hear you call for my husband to be deported on Twitter, who has had a permanent green card for the last 6 years.
He came into our country illegally. He broke our laws. He did not do it
And then married
correctly.
an American. How lucky is he?
He has to go back. He has to go back. I'm sorry,
No, he
Dr.
doesn't,
Carlin.
honey. That's not how laws work. It's
Understand how that's pushing the envelope or helping anybody.
But that's not it. We're not bashing people
Dude,
because they don't
do you read
align.
the stuff that your people say? And
But
they make it personal too. They're not saying you've got a shit idea. They attack you as a human being.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's just sort of like this, like, don't you think that's problematic? Like, don't you think women like me are doing?
I hopefully will find an American man. I will find an American man.
Lauren, you'll be pleased to know we had several interviews with ICE, and they blessed our marriage.
Really, even though he was illegal and didn't come the right way.
It's like, listen, we don't have time for political correctness. We don't have
It's
time
not about
to
being politically correct. It's
pander
about
to the
demonizing
feelings of women.
50% of the population.
We're not demonizing them. Listen, we're more
Do you
based
read your own
than
comments?
anybody.
Do you read your own comments?
I read my comments.
So
yes.
you're aware of how these people feel about women.
Yes.
And women's just.
And guess what? It doesn't work. Playing on our Christian compassion and making us be tolerant and acceptive of all this diversity, you know what that's left us with? Transgender pedophiles on Twitter saying that your daughter asked for it. Your little girl isn't actually a princess. She asked for it when I abuse her.
Wow.
The first thing I did want to say is the vindication of Lauren's point comes very clear.